Are there people in your life that just give you grief all the time? Raise your anxiety level, maybe your blood pressure level? Are they sucking the life out of you? My question is, why do you keep giving them straws? You give them the straw to say whatever they want. You give them the straw to always answer yes. You give them the straw to criticize you in any way. You give them the straw. You get the idea. All of us have had people in our lives that I used to call extra grace required, EGRs. There's EGRs in the congregation, there's EGRs in the family, there's EGRs at work, everywhere you go. An EGR is someone that needs extra grace required. It is not that we want to run away from anyone. We want to help them. But there are some people whom you really can never have peace with. Paul says in Romans to be at peace with all men as far as it is possible. Have you ever met someone it's impossible to have peace with? I have. And you just eventually have to walk away. Now, what I would suggest to you is that you need boundaries in your life to be healthy emotionally. You cannot allow people to constantly suck the life out of you and believe somehow you are doing it for the kingdom or doing it for your job or doing it for this or that. Your health, mentally and spiritually and physically, is a right that you have. You have the right to tell someone, I don't want to hear that anymore. You have a right to ask someone, what is this? They will answer an ear. And you may say, well, I'm glad you recognize that. The way you were talking, I thought you might think it was a garbage can. Oh, I know, that's the smart Alan in me. I had a couple come into the church once, and it really surprised me. They came into the church and walked right up to me. And our church was running over 1,000 in Sunday morning attendance, and they asked me where the senior pastor was, and I said, well, I'm the senior pastor. They looked at me and said, you're too short to be the senior pastor. And I immediately replied, all you have to be is tall enough to reach heaven on your knees. Yeah, I was a smart Alan that day, I admit it. But I was so surprised. But people will surprise you. Paul had someone in a church who was an enemy to him, who he says, Alexander did me much harm. The Lord reward him according to his works. Now, I don't think Paul was saying God give him blessing. I think Paul was saying, I'm pretty upset with this guy. God, you're going to have to take care of him. Sometimes we have to walk away. Sometimes we have to say something. And if you are not confident to say something, you probably don't understand your worth and your value. And perhaps the first thing you need to do is to understand your value upon this earth. You are a unique person. You've got a unique fingerprint. You've got a unique DNA code. You are a creation of God. There is no one on earth that can do the things that you can do. You are one of a kind. So first of all, love the creation that God has made. And second, respect yourself enough to be able to say no to people who expect you to always say yes. There are times for yes. There are times for no. There are even times for yes begrudgingly, simply because you want to help. But you don't have to keep giving straws to people who are sucking the life out of you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Trust me, in my early ministry, there were people that had jumbo straws. And I gave them to them. And they did. They sucked the life out of this 28-year-old first-time pastor. But I'll tell you, I learned very quickly, I would say within a few months, that there was a word that could solve a lot of these things. And that word was no. I learned it quickly, learned to use it without guilt, and understood it was best for me and my family. I just released a podcast on this very subject, and that is creating boundaries. And we'll talk a little more about it. I've gone a little longer than I thought on this clip, but I want to share with you on the podcast some things you can do. Let's put away the straws. Let's don't allow people to suck the life out of us. Let's be healthier men and women. Shall we? I don't know what kind of day you've had today. I hope it's a good one. If it's not, I pray tomorrow is better. May the Lord bless you.